easier solution with the state line, that's what we did. So we have it back there. Busy.
Yes, I am.
Grandson did pretty good when he comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, that was long.
That could be a long day.
That was a long one, yeah, we left about 7 and got back at 10:30.
Crystal kept saying, "Oh, you want-"
They played like the number one.
Yeah, because that's the they had already bad one time. Phone balls, the entire team didn't hit 12 balls. Those phone balls, when you hit balls from that distance. Cody, his grandson's hitting balls. All and then Thursday, they had baseball, they were a little bit better. And that whole yeah,
I'm on that every 2 week rotation, and I don't have that for.
yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
Rusty has their song for meeting next year, so he said he's got off the board in October. I said, Robert Kaufman. I said, if then he said Kaufman, and I said, yeah, I said, I know because he complained to me when Aaron got on the board, and that's how Kaufman ended up on the board, because I said, I go, well, I don't know, Driller replaced, all you do is just involved, and he wants to step up to be on the board, or to do anything, or volunteer for anything, and now we got a guy who's going to do it, and so that's.
Especially if nobody showed up for it. It's a time.
Mike didn't want to be on the board again. So, and I said, Aaron,
the meeting to order. Remember, we have roll call.
Mayor Crane.
Here.
Councilmember Saltz.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Sayer.
Here.
Smith. Here. Tanner.
Here.
And Attorney Powell.
Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Minutes stand approved. Jeff, what do you have for us?
You look at me?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, I'm Jeff Clark with Rivercrest Golf Club, and I was just, we've got the subdivision, 1, 2, and 3, pretty much done now. And I just want to know what I need to do to, get it annexed into the city, or to see if the city would, accept it being annexed into the city. I just need to know what that process is, if there is one, other than me just blurting it out.
No, you just get a lawyer and have him draw up the, make application to us.
Okay. So is there an application that I can,
No,
the
no,
attorney
no,
would know what to do?
The lawyer will know what to do.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, thank you.
sure. Brian, Polly,
We're just here as bystanders tonight.
okay? Keith?
Same, but I did, you had already answered my question about the volleyball courts.
Okay.
On Facebook.
Sure. Mary and Jerry?
We're spectators.
Okay. Rick?
Spectator.
Marty?
Yeah. Have we got a hold of the inspector yet for the 509 Fancy?
No,
Get him
but
scheduled
we will
that day?
before the first.
Okay.
You bet.
Did you notice them doing any structural
Yeah, he's
changes out there?
inside, yeah, putting one buys down as your sill plate, not treated lumber. He's running, your floor joists, he tied into your floor joists, is trying to make a deck. Holding the 4x4 with a bottle jack underneath it to hold the floor joists up. No,
I'm sure the inspector will find these things.
It'll be a certified inspector, so
yep,
thanks, Marty.
yep.
Greg?
Did you get the, or do anything about the vac for the pool vacuum?
Got it ordered?
Did you? Cause it's looking, it's starting to really need
Yeah.
a vac running. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. Clint?
No, not right now.
Okay. Any of you guys?
All I got to say is,
Gotcha.
particularly right now, we're gonna have a retirement get together for Teddy on August the 5th here at the police department for his 32 years of service to the city. We're gonna have
What time?
at 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock, that's 9 o'clock in the morning, you need, you night guys.
You better check with the guys that work nights.
But that's what they said is in the morning.
Where you having it at?
In the PD, the police department. With the-
August the 5th, you said, at 9 AM?
Yes.
Carol, did you have anything?
Are you gonna be painting these parking spaces here around the square?
We need to paint all of them. I mean, yeah.
Trying to get
That'll be it. Okay. Bob?
Sidewalks. I brought this up at the last meeting. We're gonna look into what funding we have to do sidewalks ourselves. Well, some of the homeowners are not gonna pay for the labor of putting it back in, although we take them out.
Right.
Have we found any funds for that?
We have funds. We have some funds for that.
Well, my next question is there, do we need to have a list earmarked sidewalks to get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, well, I'll work on that, so that we have that for the next
Okay.
meeting, a list of.
Sure.
And the priorities in order for that. The list on blacktopping, brought this
resubmit it.
They're gonna resubmit
Yeah,
the bid.
cause they screwed up. They're gonna
Who screwed
resubmit.
up, Riley?
No, oh, no, they didn't. The consultant, First Group,
Okay,
yeah, they didn't have it listed right, so they're gonna resubmit to NDOT
okay, so
in,
then,
this month.
this month,
Yeah.
okay. So then we will get a list and a quote from Reeve Riley and Milestone on what they submit to them?
Well, they quoted it. They quoted everything. They quoted right, but they didn't allow us, they knocked 2 streets off because First Group didn't categorize them right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both companies knocked 2 streets off?
No, they bid them. They bid all of them.
Okay,
But NDOT knocked 2 streets off because First Group didn't categorize them right.
okay.
So First Group has to resubmit. It was their error.
Right.
They're resubmitting all the streets to NDOT. But they've already been, actually, they just need to get us more money. Because Reeve Riley and Milestone both bid what they should have bid.
What they should have bid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then when that finalizes, we will get a list of the streets and a quote for the streets that they're bidding on.
Yes.
Okay.
We've got a quote. We've got the quotes.
We got the quotes,
Yes.
and still, is that much difference?
No, we can't do that, do them all, because NDOT didn't allow 2 of them before, because First Group didn't categorize them right.
So then,
For
who's gonna
Milestone.
have the final say on what streets are gonna do? What streets are gonna be done for the quote we're getting for those streets? Who's gonna do that? NDOT? Will NDOT do that, approve their quote for the streets that they've given?
No, we will approve it.
We will approve.
Yes.
So when we approve something, it will have a quote for those streets specifically that they're gonna do.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
that's all I
Yes,
need.
that's correct.
Yeah. The other thing, stop sign of Railroad and Fifth, anything been done about that yet?
The locates, I think they've got the cones there where the locates are.
Okay, so we're ready to install signs.
Well, I think there's some mix up on that. The northwest one, they did all the marking, but they didn't do the one on the school side, on the southeast side, they didn't.
Oh, they
The
didn't.
locate company didn't locate that corner,
Okay.
don't know why.
So
That's what
So we'll have to wait for locate for that,
Yes,
both
yeah.
corners there.
Yeah.
The stop sign is coming from down Railroad on both sides already there anyway, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sewer on, the railroad track, we had the bore done, I looked at it, the street department can put those in. We don't have to reach across that creek.
Okay?
The other thing that they need to do before, I talked to my brother about this, they need to find out by that being above the creek line, whether that line has to be encased or not.
Okay,
They gotta find that out before they run over and
Okay.
connect into the manhole.
okay,
Who's ever gonna be in charge of that?
okay,
Okay, that's all I got.
okay. Thanks, Bud. Patty?
It's been a while back and it just happened to pop into my head. Did the broken park equipment get fixed?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then, Chuck,
Yes.
Polaris, tell me about Polaris as being on the roads. Can they just be on any road?
They're just basically in the city, they're just like the golf carts, they cannot be on on the US highway, part of 136 and 3rd Street. Cause that's governed by the state and not by the city. But just like the golf carts can cross it at 90°, the Polaris can legally cross it that way, but they cannot drive up and down it. And I'm sure there's some out there,
Yeah, there are.
yeah.
There's one that drives up and down Liberty all the time.
Law says you can go to one county road to the other.
Yeah, yeah, I said, here we're dealing with the city, cause we're not the county, but yeah, like y'all saying, the county roads, you can cross the state roads. But I've been out of Kingman and walked back, and there's a dozen of them driving up down 234, but.
And
that's not
so all the area around the square is the county property?
No, just the 136 part of it.
Well, I'm like, between the parking spaces between point to point, is it county?
the parking spaces on the county, on the inside of the courthouse.
Should be county.
I was trying to figure out where I
property.
need to go next with the deal that happened on Saturday with the market people.
Well, who is the, who distinguished the market thing?
Well, it's with.
Is that a county thing or a city thing?
No, it's not really either. I mean, it's just being put on and they've got permission to use the courthouse lawn. So there's some requirements to be a part of the farmer's market, and so that's what that was all about on Saturday.
Okay, so because that was my question about who, so I was working Saturday and the gentleman moved his equipment, but that was my question, what are the stipulations for the county market thing? I don't know, is it
Yeah,
city, if that's a city thing or?
Yeah, it's not really either, they just got permission to use the to use the courthouse lawn.
Yeah. But
So,
then-
but he was parked on the street, so I wasn't sure if that was city property or if that's county property, and so.
You know right about that
I mean-
on the non-city
I'm-
side?
I'm pretty sure it's county from point to point, you know how each corner comes out and
Yeah,
rounds?
so the parking spaces
Yeah.
would be county.
I believe so.
Yeah, like I said, I said, that was questions about it then, and then who does it? You know, and I see we've run into that with the Apple Fest and other things that we've done. If a vehicle's legally parked, you know, there'd have to be some stipulation against whether they couldn't be parked in front of them vendors or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're legally parked, you're legally parked, and we don't have any.
If I could, I would like to know, cause if Chuck's not working, I'm working, so he just had me get the call. Is it CBA? Or
No.
who's in charge of the farmer's market?
Well,
It used to be CBA, then the farmers people went out kind of on their own. And like for Apple Fest, the streets are all shut down, so nobody can park in front of the booths in front of Apple Fest or,
Street fair.
yeah, street fair, yeah. But
yeah, the farmer's insurance is sponsoring it. And so, as a part of them sponsoring it through the corporate offices, vendors have to show proof of insurance to cover them, especially people doing food.
Sure,
And so,
so I guess I would.
and you have to register, you have to
Yeah.
register and you have to have the
Can
insurance.
anybody just show up on the square with a load of
And that's,
vegetables and
exactly,
start selling?
exactly,
Cause that's what basically happened.
yes,
So,
so,
I guess we need to know that if,
I don't think you could stop them from doing that, honestly.
I wouldn't know how or why, but,
Discriminating that person if everyone else would be doing
yeah,
it.
exactly. We just need to know so we have some kind of, guideline to go off of, you know?
yeah.
I could care less. I bought some, so.
So you're saying the white lines over on that side of the street belongs to the county to take care of?
Well, you know, that's what, that property,
That, on that side of the
Yeah.
street is county,
yeah,
and on this side's us, right, city?
yes.
You think you're gonna get the county to paint them
No.
white lines?
No.
I'll guarantee you.
Because they won't paint the white line from the bridge to the 74 on Stringtown Road. No, I know that.
That's all I have.
So it's up to us, but they wanna more or less run the courthouse
Well,
lawn, right?
no, I think that they.
How come they have never cooperated with us?
I don't think they wanna spend the money.
I think you're right. They have never wanted to help us out
No.
on anything. They won't even leave the restrooms unlocked.
Well, they did at the street festival, so.
But they closed them up about 8:30.
Oh,
They did, because I went there. And they were locked. And we had the street, band and everything else going on.
no, that's true.
And they have to come over here unless we got porta johns, and, which we didn't have them.
No, we have ours,
Exactly.
yeah. It's your turn, you can talk now.
I've done talking. I've done talking, but it happens every year the same way.
I know.
I'm done.
Thanks, Joe. Justin?
Everything I had has been answered, so we're good.
Okay. Josh?
Last meeting, you guys appointed Tyler Nolan to interim superintendent.
Interim superintendent.
The meeting before, you said you weren't gonna fill that position. So my question is, have you, put an ad, are you seeking someone for the superintendent position?
We haven't put an ad yet,
Okay,
but we had to appoint somebody.
okay,
Yeah.
a guy that's been here less than a year.
Rod, no, he's been here
Never
almost
managed
two,
anyone in his
he's been
life.
here almost 2 years.
Is acceptable to run the street department. Did we talk to the other people in the street department
Oh, yeah.
to see if they were
Oh,
running the position?
I offered it to Roger, he's been here 35, 38 years.
Who's retiring at the end of the year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he said, I'll retire earlier if you appoint me.
Well, I get
Joe,
that,
Joe
but
Connor,
We need to be actively seeking someone for the position that knows how to do the job.
yeah, Joe Connor. I tried to get him to take it, he's worked here probably 10, 12 years, so, but,
Okay. And
Yeah.
the other thing I have, the past two meetings, I've asked questions, I've, had comments that have been excluded from the minutes in both meetings. So from now on, I will be recording all the meetings, that way they're accurately recorded.
you didn't come to the last meeting, so.
The last two meetings I was at is when I said.
Oh, okay.
So, in that meeting, it was asked about Rick at the time, why he was terminated. So that for some reason that was red inked and scratched off, and then you all accepted those.
Did you not put that in?
I had that, he
Minutes as
handed
well.
him a letter.
So then, here's a letter from Rick claiming the reason why he was terminated.
Okay.
He asked
You
the
wanna
council-
read it?
You can read it, cause it's addressed to the council and you, so.
Okay, I'll answer that. City doesn't have anything to do with my development.
Okay, well, that,
Okay.
the question
The-
is about the bill.
Uh-huh.
Well, how can you
They-
explain the bill?
Here's how I can explain it. I ordered it, it was for me. I didn't have an account, they put it under the city. I said, I'm paying for it. I told the girls the day I ordered it, on May 4th, I ordered it. Now, the bill that Rick has is for $9,982. Here, I want you, here's the order acknowledgement, and that bill is part of that. Read the total on there. Turn to the second page and read the total.
Okay,
Now, read the total.
92,410.
$92,410.
Okay, there are
And
also
this was
two.
one invoice.
There are also two different dates. That's not a full date that you have when this order was.
The order
fabricated.
acknowledgement was, it was May 4th.
Okay,
Okay, it was 5/4.
okay.
It was printed. So, if you have any, now, I have paid it a month ago, before it was due. I have canceled check,
Okay,
my company, I have my, sales tax exemption certificate. So, you have any allegations or accusations for me?
that question.
Address them to my lawyer.
The question is, this why Rick was terminated?
No, not at all.
So
He didn't.
he refuses to pay a bill on a Friday, and then on Monday, before he even
Refuses to what?
refuses to accept this bill on Friday. He comes in Monday, first thing in the morning, and is terminated.
The girls knew why. They knew it was my bill.
Okay, well, when this was done, when you ordered this, Councilman Tanner approached me the day after. Rick approached me the day after that, so 2 days after you purchased this, and you told them at the time you were purchasing it through the city, you were gonna buy it back from the city so you could avoid sales tax.
No, why would I avoid sales tax? Josh, I
And
haven't.
at that time, they told you that was illegal to do. And then the bill comes in a month later with the shipment. And you can read what the bill says. There is nothing in
I'm
here that
just gonna
says.
humor you a little bit. That's my sales tax exemption certificate, see?
Okay.
BD Crane Mechanical. So,
Well, those are two different, so that your BDK Mechanical is building your development?
Josh Rhonda didn't know what the bill was for, she asked me what it was for.
that's.
I told her I had nothing
I
to
get
do
it,
with
and
it.
it says here
When
too,
I-
right here.
On the order.
We should hear some.
Any questions, ask Brad Crane,
Yeah.
delivered to, bill to the city of Covington.
Well, they do it. They put it down to me, but I paid for it.
Did you know that, Josh? Rhonda didn't know what the bill was for. She asked me and I told her I had nothing to do with
The
it.
bill's plain as day, it states what it's for, so.
Rick, it was,
State.
in my our development is on here.
Well, know that, that's why I said it's not mine,
Yeah, exactly.
but she didn't know what it was for.
She
So you
didn't.
didn't tell her
This-
ahead of time.
I told her ahead of the time. This was the third bill that came in. The order is the whole thing, but it came in 3 separate shipments.
Okay.
And you guys have both called the State Board of Accounts.
I was contacted by them, thank you, sir.
Oh,
Amongst others. So, you know, that's, you know, there's multiple people asking about this, coming forward.
Okay.
I handed to the whole council,
They could have asked-
explaining it.
they
Not
could have
one of the
asked
other
me.
council people had said a word about this until it comes down to me. I mean, if you wanna hear out what was going on here, it's your
They
chance.
could have asked me. I just told you. I just told you how it was.
Well, you can see where Rick was coming from on this, by him getting the invoice on this, bill to the city of Covington for something that he didn't
Yeah.
order. You can see where Rick was coming from.
But, and Shiloh's right on there, who it's for.
Yeah, I see it, yeah.
But he didn't ask me. He didn't address it to me. He didn't
Well, the
ask me
question,
about it.
the question Rick was raising about it, why is it billed to the city of Covington when it goes for a Shiloh project?
Well, I didn't have an account, they put that on, but I had told him it was for me,
Yeah,
so,
I mean, they had to come up with Shiloh somehow.
yeah, cause I told him it was for me. So, I wrote a check for it from my company, so,
Can anyone do that, or just the mayor?
What's-
I mean, can.
well, anybody can
any of
order
us do
from
it?
Utility
I mean,
Supply Company.
Through the city, I mean.
I wasn't buying it through the city.
Did you establish an account with them?
Yeah, I have,
Okay.
yeah.
I
But
mean,
they
that
just
would be the
put,
first
they
thing
just
you
put it on that.
do, was establish an
They
account
just-
before you're able
They
to
just put
purchase
it,
something.
they just put it on that. Josh, I've been in business for 50 years.
No,
Think
it
I-
seems like you're slipping here.
You know, really, what this is all about is probably because Rick got fired. Am I right?
Yeah, he was fired.
That's why this has all come up.
What's that?
Yeah, cause he was.
That's
fired
why
because
this
of
is
the-
Tell
all
us how
come
it
up.
is, Joe.
Well, let me tell
Tell
you
us how it
something.
is.
I've worked a lot of years and I've fired a lot of people. And I've never fired them just because I wanted to fire them. Rick probably said a few things. I know he has. Him and I's had words too. But I wasn't in the place where I could fire him. But I told Brad probably 2 or 3 years ago, you don't have to put up with that from your superintendent of the city. You don't have to put up with that. You can fire him. There's nothing to say you can't fire somebody. Would you put up with everything? I didn't.
What kind of a
You have to have
history?
just
What kind
cause.
of
We
a
went through
history?
that.
No, you
Well,
don't have to have
You
just
have to
cause
have
in
just cause, but you
Indiana.
excluded it from the meeting, so you wouldn't know that. from the minutes, you do have to have just cause. It's
No,
the law
you
with the
don't.
Department of Labor. You can't
If
fire
you-
someone
have
for
you ever
breaking
fired
the law.
anybody?
You need to look at the law. I do. I fire people about every week. You have to have a reason.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have a reason. You wouldn't fire somebody if you didn't have a reason.
That's your just cause.
Jesus.
Joe, I think what he's saying is, does he have a history of write-ups and has been punished before?
No,
I think that's what he's asking.
no, we've talked before.
That would be your just
There
cause.
was no
Here,
write-ups.
here. Josh, do you still have your paper
Which paper?
that I gave you that says insubordination?
Yeah, I'm sure I have it somewhere. I keep everything.
Well, why don't you get it? Here. D. Read D.
A written statement. So this was your written statement?
That was it. I
Provided?
give it to him that morning.
Okay. Refusal,
And give it to you guys.
insubordination, lack of respect, and then nothing was said in the meeting about it until it got to me to ask about it. Like, just,
You had one of these.
yeah,
I give it to everybody.
you didn't write, you copied it out of your, municipal handbook and put 2 reasons on there. What was
That's
in,
Indiana code.
what was in subordination? What was the
Huh?
lack of respect to citizens? You have none of that documented. So that's my question. I get handed this, I get handed a letter that all the councilmen see. You give me that. They're conflicting. There's nothing with what you're saying there and what was handed to Rick and this bill are 2 separate things.
That bill was mine.
Then why was he fired the Monday after he'd given it, or he refused to pay it from the city?
He didn't refuse to pay it.
It's not what the letter says in front of you.
He refused to sign it, not pay it. Cause if Rick's paying bills, I want him to.
He refused
Yeah,
to
it
sign
comes
it.
back to the count of the
And
Board of
it
Works
was
to
my,
accept it.
and it was my bill. And I paid it.
So why was he fired? They got paid.
Insubordination.
For not paying the bill. I mean, insubordination, give us
No,
an example of
no.
insubordination.
No. Give you an example.
In writing,
Is it-
I mean, that's what I'm saying,
is it-
there's no document.
No, I told him that morning. And I don't have to have that, but that morning, or for the last several months, his guys will sit down to shop. And he would tell them not to answer the phone. And if the girls ask him to do anything, don't do it. Or if the mayor or the council people ask him, don't do it. Now listen, I've listened to that for long enough. Is that right? When we moved into this building, Rick didn't want this building. Clint and his guys helped move everything down here. Rick told his guys not to help.
You have to have all that stuff documented.
No, I don't, Keith.
Well, that's not totally true anyway, Keith. I sat right out there with him one day, and looked at that.
Oh, yeah, it sure is. Do you have anything else, Josh?
Not at this time.
Okay, meeting's adjourned.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing that. That saves me